Hi, I'm Yingyee, and you're listening to The Asian CEO, which ignites and encourages Asian women in the entrepreneurial space to be proud of who they are and show up as the best version of themselves. Welcome back to episode 3, and today is a solo episode, and I am so excited to talk about this episode because these are the mistakes that I wish I knew before I even began running a business. Knowing these mistakes now and knowing what I should have done differently would have saved me so much time and headache. So let's just dive right into it. The first mistake that I learned was that your friends and family are not your clients. So let me explain by this. So by clients, I mean they don't have to be your ideal clientele. So a little bit of a backstory about this mistake was when I first started my business, I was in college. And so all of my friends were college students, and I started a lash extensions business. And I thought, oh, all of my friends, they wear strip lashes and they love lash extensions. So everyone is going to come, right? Nope, only a few did. And I was a little bit upset at my friends, but I got over it because I realized that my friends are not the clientele that I want. I don't want college students as my clients because I was aiming for a more luxurious clientele that can afford and have the luxury to afford, anything between $100 to $300 in services. And as my friends were college students, they could not afford that. And so they just couldn't be spending that much money on lash extensions. So, for my entrepreneurs that are just starting out their businesses, I want to tell you that it's okay if your friends aren't coming to you for a service. Just because someone can't physically support you with money or anything doesn't mean that they're not supporting you. They can be supporting you in liking your posts, sharing your posts to everyone, word of mouth, spreading it around. So that's okay. All of your friends don't have to be your clients, and don't put that over their head. So, the second mistake is stand by your policies and don't undermine yourself. Policies meaning if a client is coming 30 minutes late, don't take her, reschedule her, or cancel your appointments. Or if someone has a kid and they're bringing them into your appointment, it's okay to say, hey, no, I can't have kids. We can reschedule this if you couldn't find a babysitter or anything like that. For anyone who's not familiar with lash extensions, so you get the full set, and then every 2 to 3 weeks, you would come back in for a fill. For these fills, I required everyone to have 40% of their lash extensions remaining for it to be considered a fill set. And if you can count the lashes, or if it's less than 40%, it's a full set. And it took me so long, 7-10 months, for me to finally even get the courage to say at the appointment, say, hey, this is not a fill, this is a full set, and I will be charging you X amount of money versus this amount of money that you originally planned, because that's my policy. And so my first client that she came in with no lashes on, and I was like, yeah, I'm actually going to give you a discount because it was probably my fault that all your lashes fell off. So, you know what? I will just charge you $25. $25, that took me 4 hours to do her lashes. That was $6.25 that I was getting paid an hour. After that, I was like, I have to be more stern about my policies. I am never going to give them a discount again because I thought it was my fault their lashes were falling off, but it could actually be them not taking care of it. So, yes, don't undermine yourself and don't undercharge yourself because your work is worth it for someone. Again, you have your policies up for a reason. Stand by them. As women, we are more empathetic to people and to situations, especially if we know what's going on or why someone canceled last minute or why someone had to reschedule. But at the end of the day, we are a business and we have to think like a business, because instead of a steady income, our income depends on people. If you're doing your part by showing up, we should 100% be expecting someone to do their part in showing up as well. My third mistake that I learned is not scheduling breaks into my day. I was lashing probably from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. without any food in me, without any breaks in between. That was pretty crazy. Now that I think about it, it's like, why didn't I do that? I was shaking while lashing. It was that time at 6 p.m. when all I had in me was an energy drink or a coffee, and my mind would be all blurry. I couldn't think straight. I couldn't even hold a conversation because I was so hungry, and all I could do was keep on moving because I had clients back to back. I only drank coffee for that day. That was so bad. Like, why did I do that? So now I know, and it actually probably took like 5 to 6 months for me to actually be like, hey, why am I not scheduling myself a lunch? So now I am able to schedule myself lunch for 30 minutes, and that is plenty. Not saying that you just need 30 minutes. You could schedule yourself out for an hour or 2 hours and come back refreshed. So make sure to schedule breaks into your day so that you're not shaking and you're not like in zombie mode while working. The fourth one is not organizing my expenses for tax season and setting aside money for taxes. My first year of tax season, I had to go through the whole 12 months of what my expenses were. So, what kind of things did I spend on? Was it for office supplies or lash supplies, or was it for, gas, traveling, mileage? I was not organizing that. And so that took me about a day to just go back and organize everything. After I was done, I showed him the list and he said, okay, but this is too broad. Can you narrow down your expenses? Because you and I know that you're spending a lot in your business. It's still too broad where the IRS is going to flag it, and you're going to definitely get an audit because of this. So I had to go back the next day as well and narrow down every single expense because I thought it was okay, but it wasn't. So now I know to organize my expenses so my tax appointment can just be literally 15 to 30 minutes because that was so time consuming. Also, yes, setting aside money for taxes is super important. You have to remember that when you're working for someone else, they are taking out your taxes already for you. So what you're getting is, after tax. But as a business, you're getting paid all up front. That's not going to the state or the federal government yet. So you need to set aside about 30 to 40% of money for your taxes. Some people, they say, oh, it's my first year of building a business. I don't even know if I'm going to make enough income, so I'm not going to set money aside. Okay, but what if the third month you suddenly blow up and everyone's buying your products and you're not into the habit of setting aside money that you can't touch or won't touch? That's just for Uncle Sam, and that's going to ruin you. When the time comes for trying to pay your taxes, you don't have anything to pay with. Start early, start building that habit of 30 to 40% goes into taxes. And now, the last mistake that I learned while starting a business that no one's told me is to separate your business and personal money. I know it sounds like common sense, but no one told me that. So when I was getting money from my business, it was going into my personal checkings, and I was confused about, oh, this is for my bills, or this is for, rent for the studio. And it just got all confusing. And you might get into the headspace of, oh, I have a lot of money, I'm going to spend it on more Amazon packages or more traveling and anything like that. But in reality, it's your business money. And so you have to set aside money for your business for it to run as well. And it's also good to just separate your business and personal checkings and savings for tax season, where you can just go into your business account and say, hey, these are all my business expenses versus was my target run for the business or for myself. So it saves a lot of headache for that too. So to recap the mistakes that I learned, number one is that your friends and family do not have to be your clients, and they don't have to be your ideal clients. You can go outside of that. Number two, stand by your policies and don't undermine yourself. 3 is schedule breaks into your day. And 4 is organize your expenses and set aside money for tax season. And lastly, number 5 is separate your business and personal checkings and savings and money. I would love to hear what your biggest takeaway was or which mistake resonated with you. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you guys next week. You can connect with the Asian CEO on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and everything will be linked in the show notes. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye.